I'm going to use this example, right? So you can see in this one, what do we have? We know this one, right? We know this dimension of the large pulley and the small pulley. One is 16 inches, the other one is 18 inches, right? And we also know the distance between the shaft is 96 inches. What else do we know? The geometry. What else do we know? What else do we know? Do we know what is the width of the belt? Do we know that? After your design, do we know that? Does anybody know? Does anybody know that? I'm going to build the pulley, okay? I'm going to build pulley first. So here's your SolidWorks, okay? Here's the SolidWorks. And the first one, first thing you're going to do, you're going to make a part, right? So this part, we're going to give the name Pulley 1. You can see here, okay? You can see here, this is a new file we created, okay? Nothing else. We just have the plan. Okay. So I'm going to save this, okay? I'm going to save this, give name. Okay, I'm going to say, create a folder name for my course, right? So, okay, so you can also create a new folder for the project, right? So I'm going to give this one. Okay. 6-inch. All right. So we start with a sketch. Okay, we start with sketch. I'm going to make this one visible. Make front plane visible plane, and then you sketch. You can see the sketch tab is being activated, and then you have 3 options, right? You can create a sketch, which is 2D sketch. You can also create a 3D sketch. You can create a 3D sketch on plane. Okay, so I'm going to use just a sketch. Okay, normal one. And once you get it, you can see here's X, Y axis allows you to use as a reference. I'm going to, that's my style, okay? That's my style. I always create a center line, okay, as my reference, additional reference, so I can use it. Oops. So I can use it later for either dimension or use it as a reference or object for matings. Okay, so I'm going to use this one. All right. And then before I go further, I can choose my unit. Okay. Simply click this drop-down menu at the lower corner. Okay. So you can choose inch, pound, second, which is the one we would like to use. You can also use millimeter, gram, second. You can use EGS, MKS. Okay, so this one, if it's not IPS, then you should choose. You should switch to IPS, inch, pound, second. Okay, so I have IPS already in default, so I don't need to worry about it. You may need to consider yours. Okay, so once I have it, so I'm going to create the profile of my pulley, right? So usually this pulley have a outer diameter and have a inner diameter, so I can put shaft in it. Okay, so I'm going to use the simplified. If you like, you can also create a C-way key. Okay, keyway seat. Okay, you can also put key seat here. Okay, so I'm just use simplified geometry here. Okay, so now I can put the dimension. Once you have the geometry, profile of the geometry, then you can put dimension. Okay, so I'm going to use dimension with this is 6 inch, right? Outer diameter is 6 inches. Okay, and then inner diameter, let's say say 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch. 1 inch diameter. It's too small. Let me say 2 inch. Okay, 2 inch diameter. 2 inch shaft. Allow you put 2 inch shaft. Okay. Then I have the profile. Once I have this one, I accept it, and then deactivate my sketch, and then let me save my file. Okay, save my file. All right. So we know the belt will be 6 inches in length, right? In reality, you may have rims, right? In reality, you may have rims. Okay, you can make more complicated geometry like rims. Okay, so you can hold the belt. The belt will not go outside of this. Will not go outside of the pulley, right? Okay, and also you have the pulley. The real pulley should have a tape. Okay, so the real pulley will be like this. Okay, in reality. Okay, in reality. So the center, right? Center, and you have this degree. Okay, you should have a tape angle. So when the belt moves to this side, then because this tape, it will be centered, self-centered. Okay, we are not going to include those details in here. Okay, because in your design project, you don't have those being included. We just use a simplified geometry to demonstrate your design parameters. Is that clear? If it's clear, please type 2, everybody. We just use this to show the geometry, okay? Design parameters. Can you hear me, everyone? Anyone? Can anyone hear me? Okay. Any questions? If no question, please type 2. If you have any question, type 0. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? If there's no question, please type 2. If you have any question, type 0. Hello? Hello? Give me a 3. Give me 3 if you have any. If you don't have any question. Okay, thank you. I need a response from you, please. It seems I'm not getting anybody here listen to me. Okay, so here, right, we can see this belt width is 6 inches. Okay, so at least, okay, then at least your pulley should be 6 inches or more, right? So here we're going to use, say, 7 inches. So on each side, you're going to have half inches room to your belt. Okay, so I'm going to use extrude. Okay, I'm going to use extrude, and you can either give this one, okay, give this one 6 inches here, 7 inches, right? 7 inches here, okay, or you can see it will be start from here, okay, start from your sketch, okay, or you can use a mid plane, right? Mid plane, okay. On each side it will be 3.5 inches. Okay, the total length of this pulley is 7 inches. I'm going to use this one as mid plane, so it will be easier for me to make assembly. Okay, so once I have this, I'm going to save it. Okay, here is my pulley. Okay, here's my pulley. If you wish, you can also make tapes. Okay, but you do need to know the tape angle. Okay, tape angle. That will allow you to allow the belt being self-centered. Okay, so we're not worried about this at this moment. Okay, we're more interested in the design parameters like tension, like what's the belt material, and what's the geometry property of the system. Okay, so this is my shaft pulley 1. Okay, here's the pulley 1. Any questions so far? If no question, please type 4. Okay. If you have any question, type 0. Okay. I don't receive any question. Let's move on. So I'm ready to make the other one, right? I'm ready to make the other pulley. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just use this pulley, okay? Just use this pulley, The only difference between this pulley and this small and the large pulley is the outer diameter, right? Maybe inner diameter also have some difference. So I'm going to say save as pulley 18 inches, okay, 18 inches. Just use this one and modify my pulley. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sketch. I'm going to edit the sketch. Okay, edit the sketch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say this sketch. This will be 18 inches. Okay. I'm going to remain this one 2 inches for now. If you want, okay, you can modify this. You can modify this. Now you can see, once you modified your sketch, your extrude, okay, your solid body, okay, 3D model, also updated. Okay, I'm going to save it. Okay, now I'm going to change the shaft diameter. What I can do here, I use a different way. I can edit this dimension in the sketch, but I'm going to use another way, right? I can go to equation here. Okay, equation here, and you can see here is a sketch. Okay, dimensions, right? Those dimensions. You can see, right? This is the sketch D2 in the sketch 1, okay, which is 2 inches, right? I'm going to say this time, I'm going to say this is 4 inches, okay, 4 inches. Okay, and then you can see, once I hit OK, then here will be updated. All right, in this one, you can also update your dimension. You can control dimension in this way. Okay, save it. All right, so once I do this, and save it. Okay. Any questions so far? Now we have 2 pulleys. I'm going to put these 2 pulleys together to become an assembly, and then create my belt. Okay, and then create my belt. Any questions so far? Okay. I'm going to restore this one. Then you can see I'm going to create a new file, which is assembly. Okay, which is assembly. This time I'm going to create assembly. Okay. Once I create the assembly, it asks you to insert the components, right? I can choose this 2, all of them. You can see here, right? Okay. I'm going to 1 here and 1 here. All right, now you can see. Okay, so assembly is being created. Okay, the assembly is being created, and then include pulley 1, pulley 2. Okay, so I'm going to save this one. Okay, I'm going to save this one. Pulley assembly 1. Let's say left belt example assembly. Okay. All right. So this is my assembly. I just randomly put those things here, right? So it's not very, it's not being put organized. Okay, it's not well organized. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hide this first, okay? Hide both pulley first. I want to make some reference, okay? I want to make some reference. So here, right? So you can see here, from here to here, it is 96 inches away, right? So I'm going to create a sketch, okay? I'm going to create a sketch, and I want to use the front. Okay, let me make this as a max view. So show this front plane, right? Show this front plane. Oops. Show this front plane, and then I'm going to make a sketch. Okay, make a sketch, and then make a center line. Oh. Sketch. Okay, and I'm going to make this now. Create a center line. And I want to make dimension. This will be 96 inches, right? By the way, make sure, okay? By the way, make sure you use IPS as your system in this assembly as well, right? So it's okay. Now, oops, this end and this end represent the shaft center for my two pulleys, right? And I would like also put my vertical line here and another vertical line here. It will be easier for me later on to see my references. Once I'm done, exit the sketch, you can see this sketch now, right? So now I can use this point and this point to help me to position my pulleys, okay? So I'm going to make this visible, okay? You can see this one is free, okay? It's free, right? So, okay. So what I can do, I can go to assembly and use mate, okay? Use the mate. So coincident or concentric, right? I don't have any point here, so I cannot use concentric. So what I can do here, is now I can use, let me use concentric, right? So, and what I can do, I'm going to select the sketch center to concentric with this point, right? So this pulley, I want to show the sketch, okay? Show the sketch. So I'm going to select this point, which is intersection point of this two reference line. Okay, so you can see point 1, right? Concentric with this point, okay? Concentric with the coincident with this point, and I'm going to accept this one. Okay, so let me save this one for now. Well, you can see here, this is not fully constrained yet, right? Because its position is not being confirmed. Okay, so it's only after this 2 point being concentric, right? What I can do here, I'm going to say I would like to make delete this one. I'm going to make this face parallel to my front plane. Okay. Right. Okay. So although this belt can be rotated, okay, but it's okay, right? Okay. So at 1 degree of freedom, okay, not move around anymore. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. No question? Good. So I'm going to make this one. I'm going to make this one hidden again. Okay. All right. We're going to do the same thing for this large pulley, right? So let me. Oh, okay. So you can see I'm not be able to move this pulley at all. Why? Because this pulley, this component is the first component being put here, so it's being automatically fixed. Okay, automatically fixed. So what I can do, I can make this float. Okay, if some component is fixed, then you will not be able to move it. Once you make it float, then you will be able to move it. All right. So and when it's floating, okay, you make some component is float, then fix is available. Okay, fix is available. Right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the make to do the same. Right. So first, I want to make the space. This time, I'm going to make the face parallel to the front plane of my assembly reference. Okay. And then I'm going to make this pulley sketch in the pulley visible. Then I can use coincident this point, this point. Okay, then you can see my two pulley have the distance, center distance, similar to the system being given, right? 96 inches away from each other. Okay, from the top, you can see, okay, so this is a pulley we're going to have. Let me see from the side view. This one, from the side view. Okay, so 6 inches, or 7 inches, 7 inches. Okay, so both are 7 inches. All right, this is the system we have. Okay, any questions? I'm going to save all of them. View that. Okay. Now what's happening here? I'm going to make this one, hide this again, so we don't need to see the sketches. All right, so save it. Well, now we need the belt. Okay, now we need the belt. Right, we need the belt. What we're going to do? We're going to insert. Okay, we're going to design our belt. Okay, or create the 3D model for the belt. Use assembly. Okay, because we already have those reference geometries here, reference here, then we can simply use those geometries to help us to create our geometry. Okay, so I'm going to say I'm going to create a new part. Okay, insert components. We're not going to insert the components from other. We're going to create a new part. Okay, create a new part. Okay, so you can see here, right? Part 2 is being given here. I'm going to say, before we do this, okay, I'm going to give the name belt. Okay, give the name belt. All right. Okay, so I'm going to add it to this component, right? I'm going to add it to this component. You see that? So if I right-click this belt now, what's happening, right? So I'm going to make this float. Okay, I'm going to make it float. Okay, so I can also make it fixed once it's afloat. Okay, so if it's fixed, then you'll not be able to move it, right? If it's float, then you can move it. Let me see the front. See the front view or the front plane of my component is also coincident with my front plane of the assembly, right? So top plane, if we look at it, right? So this is top plane, right? Right plane, also, okay, right plane. You can see, all right? So this 3 plane now are coincident with my assembly, right? Okay, because, okay, if not, then you can make so, okay, you can make so, right? All right. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to save my file, okay? I'm going to save my file on the disk. If you go to, I haven't saved my file yet, right? I haven't saved my file yet. So, okay, I only have the assembly, I have pulley, I have the 6-inch pulley and 18-inch pulley, so far, right? I haven't saved my file yet, right? So what you can do here, you can save it, okay? You can save this file, okay? What you can do, you can add this component, okay? Add this component, right? Once you add this component, you are working on this component. Whatever you do is on this component, belt component, right? Okay, so then what you can do, you can save part, okay? You can save part now, right? So save part in external file, okay? In external file. If you deactivate edit components, you will not be able to. You don't have this, okay? You have to. You can also right-click, okay? You can also right-click this component to save it, right? Save in external file. In this way, if you click this one, okay? If you click this one, then it asks you what you are going to put, okay? In which folder, right? So you can choose a folder. This folder being given is the default folder, which is the place I would like to save my file. So I can hit OK. You can also have other options, right? Internal to assembly, right? So I want to make it external. So later on I can open it separately without open my assembly. I'm going to hit OK. Now if you go to this one, if you go to this folder, then you can see belt is being saved, okay? belt is being saved here. Okay, all right. If you close the SolidWorks, then you can still be able to open it from the from the folder. Okay, you still have this on your disk. All right. Once you have this, then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to here again, edit this component, right? Edit this component. You can see here. If I make this front view, then you can see. All I need to do is just use this reference to create my belt shape. Okay, create my belt shape. This is what I'm going to do. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to one thing I want to put here is, you can see here, what you are doing is the belt. Okay, this is belt file in assembly. Okay, in this assembly, right? So that means you are working on the belt, and you can see the belt file is being highlighted, and edit components is being highlighted. So if you create a sketch, it is actually being created in the belt file. Okay, so let's do this. Sketch. I want to use a sketch, and which one you would like to use? Plan. I want to use this from okay, and same, right? I'm going to create a center line. Okay, create a center line, and then I'm going to create a vertical center line from here to here. All right, because I already have some references here, I can easily find those references. Okay, so the center line, which is okay, right? Then to avoid confusing, okay, I'm going to hide the rest of those components. Okay, I'm going to hide the rest of those components, and also and the sketch, I think. Let me stop. Okay, just give me a second. Let me see here if I can. Okay, sketch 2. This sketch 2 is in my assembly, right? Is in my assembly, correct? So, okay, we're working on sketch. So I'm going to hide this sketch 2. Okay, now I only see my sketch. I only see my sketch 1, right? I only see my sketch 1 in the belt. Okay, all right. So I will not create any additional restriction or constraints. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create this one, another one. Okay, so dimension will be 6 and 18. All right. And then I'm going to create the a line. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this one and this one to be tangent, right? So display add relation, right? Add relation. So I would like to say this line and this line to be tangent and accept. Same as this one, right? Add relation. Oops. So add relation. This one and this one to be tangent. It's okay. Correct? We can do the same for this one. There's lots of constraints. Okay? There's lots of constraints, automatic constraints to be created here. I don't want any of them, right? I don't want any of them. So what I can do here, I can trim this one, okay? Let me trim this one and mirror this one, okay? So let me trim, okay? Hold your mouse and then trim it, right? What I can do here, I can use this one to zoom in and then cancel it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to trim. Hold my mouse across the part I would like to trim, okay? You can see, oh, it's trimmed from here. Then I want to trim it from there, right? So you can see, okay? Tangent to here. Let me see on this side, see what's happening. I get what I need. Okay, yes, correct. Right. Now I'm going to create mirror, right? I'm going to mirror this entity above my this line. Okay. Now you can see we have both of them, and I would like to trim this part as well, right? Trim this part, so it will be the whole surface, okay? The bell shape. Okay. So what I can do here, I can trim this one. What I can do, I can trim from here, 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 to be here. Okay, then only have the tangent line being showing here, right? Okay. And then okay. And then on this side, right? So trim this one. And trim this one. Now you can see, once my curves form a closed area, okay, then the enclosed area becomes gray, right? Become filled with a gray color, okay? So, okay, this is what I want. Okay, now we know this just curved lines, right? So we need to make the bell shape with the information of the thickness. So you can see 0.130 inches is the thickness, right? So I'm going to offset my, okay, and this will be 1.130 inch. Okay. All right. It's being created as I required. Once I have it, I can save my file, build and save it. Okay. What's next? I have the profile, right? I have the profile. Then I can extrude, right? To get my, okay, so feature, go to feature, extrude. See? So I'm going to make this one with the plane, and the extrude distance will be 6 inch. Okay. All right. So let me save this one. Now, let me rebuild this one. Okay, and then save it. Okay. Now you can see I have 3 components. Let me show the other components. Show the S components. Okay. All right. So you can see this is my system, right? This is my system. Simply, very simple geometry to show the relationship of my large pulley and the small pulley, and also the belt, right? Okay. All the dimensions, geometrical dimensions is being shown in my system. Okay, in this 3D model. Okay, so I'm done with my belt. Okay, I'm done with my belt, and now I can save my file. This is the 3D geometry. Once you have the 3D geometry, now you can start to work on your the drawings now. So the drawing will be similar to this one, right? So you can put the front view and a top view. Let me check, right? So let me close this one, and then we can see, okay, we have assembly, we have belt, we have pulley, okay, 6 inches pulley, we have 18 inches pulley. All right, so we got everything. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a drawing, okay? I'm going to create a drawing. So I need to open my assembly first, right? I need, let me check my belt, okay? Check my belt first. Okay. Here's my belt, right? Here's my belt. Let me hide my belt. Save it. Save the file. Okay. So put in isometric view. Well organized. Okay. Then I'm going to open my assembly. Okay, rebuild it. Okay, this is my 3D model of my system. Once I have this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say create new file, join, right? Join. Okay. Okay, so you can choose the join. Okay, you can choose the join. What type of join you would like to choose? You can browse. Okay, you can browse. Let me see. Okay, English. Mm, let me try this one. A2. It's too. Okay, let me try. Let me try this one. Let me try this one. Okay, A4. You can use a different one. Okay, you can use different, and this one will be 11, 11 and 6, 0.67 inches and 8 inches, right? So I'm going to use this one to see. We already have the title block. Okay, so then we're going to use this assembly. Double click it to accept. Okay, so I'm going to put a front view. Okay, we're going to put the front view here. Okay, and then I'm going to put a top view here. Right, once I have this, I can also, let me save this first. Okay, let me save this first. Flatbelt assembly join, I'm going to accept the default setting here, default name here, save it. And then what I'm going to do, I also want to put an isometric view, right? So join, go to join, okay, go to join tab, model view. So same file, isometric view, right? So I would like to see the preview here. Okay, that's okay. Then done. Okay, now I have what? I have a front view, I have a top view, so it's good enough for me to put my dimensions here. So what dimension do you want to put here? First, you would like to put pulleys, right? Pulleys. Okay, so dimension, the pulley diameter, okay, inches. And you also want to put, let me put some center mark here, right? Center mark. Center mark. And center mark. Accept. Okay. Marker size, right? So we can make it bigger. So make a little bit bigger too. You can also put it in different layer, okay? So a little bit bigger. It's still too small. Let me. right? Extend a little bit. Okay, depends on the joint. Okay, depends on the joint. You can the extended size need to be make adjustments, right? Need to be adjusted. Okay, now I'm going to make this dimension, right? The center distance. Okay, the center distance is a very important dimension should be put here. Okay, all right. What else? What else? We also need to put width, right? Belt width, inches. Okay, and also the thickness, right? Thickness, belt thickness. Okay. Belt thickness. Okay, so it says 0.03, and I'm going to make 3 decimal places, right? So, oh, save my file. Okay, so also rotating direction, right? So what I can do here, I can make a sketch, right? I can make spline, right? So okay. Okay, so okay, and then I can offset 2 inches. Uh-oh. I don't need this. Okay, and then okay. Let me offset, reverse. Okay. Save my file. Then, okay. Now you can see the direction. You can make annotation here. Annotation. So make notes here. Okay. So in here 1750 RPM. Okay. And then you can also put other information such as initial tension, initial tension, oops. Okay, initial tension force. Say 0.6 F. And allowable power, in given here. Okay, capacity, design power, horsepower, and other information. Okay. For example, material of the belt. Okay. Maximal torque. Okay. Those information should be given in your drawing. And also you want to put, say, you also want to put those information, data, and so on. Okay. So what you can do here, right? So you can go to sheet format. Okay, edit sheet format, and then for example here, then you can say make smaller, right? So okay, to fit into the box. Okay. Actually, this one should be your title instead of, okay, assembly. Right. Okay. Then you can also put your name here, data, okay, and other information. Oops. Once you're done, you can save your file. Okay. So when you submit your file, right? When you submit your drawing, you need to include, okay, you need to include all your assembly, file, and so on, right? Because if you don't have those, okay, example, if I'm going to folder, if I close this one, okay, and close this one. If I don't have this one, okay, if I say, if I don't have the assembly, okay, then what happened? What's happening? If I try to open this file, you can see I'm not be able to open it. Right? So then I can suppress. Then what's happening is I'm not be able to see all your drawings. All right. So what do you need to do? Load those files. Okay. So I have to find those files when I open it. So it asks me to browse the file, right? So, okay. All right. So that's what's happening. Okay. If I don't have the another situation here, if I don't have those one or two of those, for example, if I don't have this belt, okay. So I'm trying to open this drawing. So I'm trying to open this assembly. Oops. Let me do this. Okay. Okay. So let me try this. I'm trying to open this, right? So I'm not be able to open it. I need to browse my my assembly. But when I try to open my assembly, I'm not be able to find it, right? So then I have to, okay, view report. You can see, right? So in assembly, my drawing is not being properly loaded because the system cannot find the components. All right, so you need to include all of them, right? So you can see, even if I have it and the system cannot recognize it, right? Okay, so also you don't want to change your file without notice without save the modification, the information of modification in your files. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, so what am I going to do? I have to get it back, right? So, oops. Get this back. For example, if you change the file name, right? So let me give an extension here. You can see, right? When I change this file name, it says, it gives me some warning, right? So rename, let me. I want to show you. Okay, if you change file extension, it might change, right? So, okay, let me open this. Change the file name here. Okay, now, if I'm trying to open the assembly, you see, I'll not be able to find the file, right? So, out the file. What's happening to here is the file is being changed, right? And then the assembly file is also being need to be rebuilt. Okay, so that's a problem. Okay, so if I close it, it will ask me to save or not. I don't want to save it. Okay, I just use the original file. I just want to change it back to its original file name. That's a situation. Okay, so when you try to change the file name in the Windows system, then you should pay attention to that. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? This is how we're going to create the drawing. And as I said, you're going to put all the information necessary, okay? Your design parameter, all the belt, right? So we need to get to the belt. When you get to the belt. Okay, so pay attention to here. You also all your in all your system parameter here. Okay. Okay. So including like material. Okay. Like material of a belt, if necessary, material of your pulley, right? And also initial tension, maximum power, maximum torque, allowable power, factor of safety, okay? Factor of safety, and so on. All this information should be put here. Basically, all the calculated parameters should be put here. Okay.
Hello, Professor.
Yes.
Yeah, hi. I actually have a doubt. Yeah, I understood all the concept what you're telling in SolidWorks, but the thing is, our due date for the project is 28. That means today. So almost all the students submitted the report before yesterday itself. So do we have to create a drawing like this again and resubmit it in the FOL again?
You need to include this drawing, which is 20% of the which is 20% of this one, right? So I expecting you already know how to use SolidWorks. Just give me a second. Let me go back to the go back to the handout, right? So
like I have submitted the SolidWorks file also, but haven't created like this what you are teaching now. So should I resubmit it again like this? So that's my question.
Okay, so here, right, mechanic join is being asked, right? So the detail, including the join, is being asked for, right? So
Yeah.
if you meet this information, then
Okay.
that's okay.
Okay, fine
If
then.
you meet this information, I will mark it. I will mark this according to this requirement, right? So if you think yours is okay, then
Okay.
I will mark it as what you submitted. However, if you want to update your drawings based on what I demonstrate here, you're welcome to do so. And for this part, your update for this part will not considered as a later submission. You understand, right? So
Okay, got it.
if you submit something this week, okay, before Friday, including update of this drawing, I will not consider it as a late submission. However, for the rest of your report, if you want to make modifications on that, you can do so, but it will be considered as a different way. Okay.
Okay, got it, sir.
Got it?
Yeah, perfect.
If you make improvement, definitely you will get more marks. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
That's
Okay.
Okay.
Got it, sir.
Right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know. You don't have some of you don't have experience with this, right? So, but that's okay, right? I already showed you examples here. Then you can follow the instruction and follow my video, recorded video. Okay.
Okay, Professor. Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions? Hope this can help you to improve your project. Okay. All right. Do you have any difficulty to do your assignment? Do you have any difficulty to do your assignment? Anyone?